Yes, guys. Ryjack back with another live stream. We are here. The channel has an updated look. I've updated my logo, my badge to look a little bit better, more professional, as well as updated the backdrop. I've moved into a new studio, clearly. It looks very nice, if I say so myself. And I have all the power of AI to thank. So, if you guys are new, do hit subscribe. Always appreciate that. We're on the road to 1,000 subs on the channel here, 1,000 subs, and we get closer every single day. So thank you guys for the support as always. Anyway, let's discuss Man City and Newcastle in the Carabao Cup semi-final today. Let's see if my new tech works. It does. My new tech works nicely here. We've got the lineup to look at, and we can go over kind of what I saw from the game today. I would say first half was a little bit dead. It wasn't maybe ideal the first half, unfortunately. It was, I don't want to say boring. Boring is the wrong word, but kind of boring. Not a whole lot happened. I think it took at least until late in the first half to get an actual shot on target. I think it was a corner right about here where it was the first time we got a shot on target, unfortunately. So I wasn't bored. I shouldn't say bored. Bored is the wrong word, but it was something else the first half. Not a whole lot going on. Second half comes around. We score rather quickly. Antoine Semenyo at the back post gets a tap in. Beautiful tap in as well. You'll love to see it. Something our wingers, our current wingers, don't really do. They don't make these runs in behind and get these goals really, realistically. It just doesn't really happen very often. So seeing that is nice. The last time I can remember a back post goal, I think, was Nunez against Villa last year. That was the last time, at least I remember one. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong there. But anyway, Semenyo scores, and then controversy unfolds. Of course, we get the whole issue with, is Haaland offside? Is Haaland interfering with play? I think it's a bunch of nonsense. But, I mean, what are you going to do? They rule it out after a long review, a long review. And, I mean, it's disheartening to see how long it actually takes these reviews. I want to say it was over 6 minutes, 7 minutes of a review for what? For what? I mean, clearly it's not a clear and obvious error by the referee, which is what they said VAR was going to be for. They said you're never even going to know it's there. It's going to happen so fast. So when you're drawing lines that small, I just think it's nitpicking, and I don't think it's necessary. And I get the offside rule is he's either offside or he's not offside, but that really wasn't what was the deal here. Even if it's arguable if he was onside or offside, did he impede Chaw, however you say that guy's name, because he didn't impede Nick Pope whatsoever. Nick Pope jumped to the right, Haaland was on the left. So he did not impede Nick Pope. Chaw, to me, doesn't move at all. They're holding each other. Does he make an attempt to go past Haaland? No. He's just standing there. So the goal came in so fast. It felt like no one even had time to react. So there was no advantage granted by Haaland standing there, which to me means it's not interfering with play and it's not an offside. But the referee sees it differently, and after a long time, it's ruled out, which it is what it is. Unfortunately, it was ruled out. There's nothing you can change. City go on. And actually, I will say, after the goal was ruled out, Newcastle kind of got fired up, and I thought they were pretty good for a good portion of the second half. Following that, felt like they had a new lease on life. They were ready to go, and they were pushing hard for the equalizer. I got to shout out Trafford, by the way, making some really good saves to keep it level, to keep us 1-0 ahead. I thought he was mega in terms of saves. He wasn't great kicking, but I'm not sure that he actually ever is great kicking. I wonder if it has his kicking stats here. Long ball, 7 of 18. That's not great. 19 of 30 on accurate. Passes also not great. So, I mean, it is what it is with the Trafford distribution. However, saves, I thought he was really good. And he actually gets the Fought Mob man of the match. Not my man of the match. I'd probably go with maybe Max Aline. I thought that guy was mega. I thought Max Aline was mega today. I mean, I'd go with him. Kusanov was really good. There was one moment in the first half where Vissa had a big opportunity that he skied that I thought Kusa kind of recklessly went in on a challenge he probably didn't need to go for. And then, he didn't get there, and that started the Newcastle break. And that is the next step in Kusa's development. Right now, he feels like a guy who's so overly aggressive that he needs to tone it back, not to, a dull, non-aggressive center back, but a player that's more measured and is able to occasionally go in for challenges. And if you go, you got to get the ball. You got to get the ball or take the man out. You can't whiff like he did, which led to Wissa's opportunity, which Wissa was horrible today. Should have scored. Voltamade probably should have scored at some point in the second half as well. He does not. Newcastle, really poor finishing on the game today. However, Lewis Hall, I thought was really good. Lewis Hall was nice and shifty on the ball. I was impressed with him. Just too bad he is a right back or left back and not a right back. I think he would be a really good right back for us, if he was actually a right back. But unfortunately, left back, and we've got that position pretty covered. Nunez, I thought was fine. I don't have any complaints. He comes off. He got a yellow card, comes off in the 62nd minute, and I believe that's when Rico came on. Yeah, Rico and Rodri, as well as Tijani Reinders, comes onto the pitch for a triple sub. Comes off Foden as well. Foden was not really involved. It's this deeper role he's playing. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about Foden lately. He's been off. He's been off for sure. Nico Riley as a midfielder, he was the holding midfielder for the 60 minutes he played. He's just a better left back than he is a midfielder right now. Maybe eventually he will become a decent left back or decent six or midfielder, but every time he plays midfield, I just don't really get it. I don't really see what maybe I'm hoping for, unfortunately. Nico O'Reilly just is much better at left back. He feels very one-footed in midfield. He's very angled towards his left foot a lot. I don't know. Maybe I'm being overly harsh. Maybe you guys thought he was pretty good, but for me, I just don't think he was that impressive in midfield. And most of the time when he's in midfield is not that impressive, unfortunately. 55 touches, 5 passes in the final third, 0 for 1 long ball. You'd like, I know it's difficult to say, but like the Rodri dink ball that he does, if we got a player playing in that position, you kind of want to see Nico try that, and I don't really remember much of that happening. 3 recoveries, once dribbled pass, 2 for 4 in the air and on the ground. So I don't know. It wasn't his best performance, but really he should be playing left back to me, at least. Nathan Ake, another solid performance. Wasn't really tested pace-wise, which is nice. You don't really want Nathan Ake tested via the pace much at this point in his career. But I thought he was good. He's always good in one-on-one situations. It's just when he gets stretched and has to run, you're always worried his hamstring's going to go, unfortunately. But for the most part, I thought Ake was good and continues a streak of a few good games. I know Ake gets a lot of stick from fans. People in the comments are always roasting Ake, and I don't really get the Ake hate. He's definitely not the reason we've struggled lately. To me, he's not. He's a very solid player, it feels like. So I don't really get the Ake dislike. I talked about Foden. I don't think he was great. Silva gets an assist, a bit of a lucky assist. He was trying to shoot, and it kind of deflects wide, goes right into Semenyo's path. So I don't really know if I class that as an assist. But out of possession, the work rate was always as it is, mega for Bernardo Silva, which you like to see. Passes maybe could be a little bit more accurate. Created the one chance that Semenyo scores. I do think it was a shot, really, so I don't know that I can give him credit for that. Defensively, I thought is where he was really good. 6 out of 9 ground duels. The guy's he's just like a little pit bull out there. He's not going to give you much offensively. I know he gets an assist, but fake assist, really. Doku was pretty solid. I don't think he was bad by any means. I saw some people saying Doku man of the match. I don't agree with that. He sent a cross in that ends up with the goal, but again, it's deflected by Bernardo, so I don't know that I can really give Doku credit for that specifically, but he was fine. He was fine. Gold Drips has entered the chat. Says hi, my man. Whoa, we need to move that. Oh, my new tech has got this all out of order. Look at that. Whoops. Here we go. Let me fix that for you. There we go. That's much better. Much better. My new tech, Gold Drips. My bad. My bad. Says, hi. I hope you're good. Hope you're good. Happy with the win today. As always, I would hope. Anyway, as I was talking about, Semenyo scores the actual goal. Scores a second that doesn't count, but should have counted. He even said after the game his second goal should have counted. I don't know. I don't get why it doesn't count, really. We talked about that for the first few minutes of the stream. I don't really get it, me personally. But Semenyo played on the right today. Also played on the left when Doku came off. Went over there. He was probably a little bit better on the left in terms of creativity. But on the right, I mean, he scored 2 goals. So who am I to say? I don't know. Semenyo, though, I was happy with and continue to be happy with. I know the first game was Exeter, and this is not like a Premier League game, but it's Newcastle. They're a really physical team, and Semenyo just looks the part. He looks so physical. Looked pacey today as well. 27 out of 30 passes. I mean, there's not much you can complain about with this guy. He was maybe a bit quiet in the first 30 minutes, but after that, I thought he really stepped up. Was crucial as well in the final goal, second goal. Had a nice ball into Cherokee, who played it into Aitnori, back to Cherokee for the goal. So, Semenyo doesn't get a stat there, but was part of that build-up for sure. Holland, I think Holland is gassed, guys. That's what it feels like to me. Holland seems really, really either out of shape or out of energy. Even Pep said it after the game. I felt like the effort today on Holland was not ideal, unfortunately. He was just kind of out there. There was not a lot of opportunities for him. He had the one ball from Cherokee that, he almost got to and just didn't quite make it there. So I don't know. Pep said it himself. We need Omar Marmoush back. And I agree. Omar needs to come in so we can give Holland a rest. Nah, Doku was great because he was an outlet and also drives us forward, and he helps with his physicality. He was very physical, and I agree. He was a good outlet. I just don't know that he was man of the match good. I don't think he was bad by any means. And in the assist is like, he didn't get an assist. He kind of created an opportunity, but really it was a bit of a fortunate deflection for us for Bernardo. So I don't know if I'm like going to glaze Doku, but I will glaze Semenyo because that dude is a baller, man. Semenyo is my new love, my new Man City love child, basically. I love this guy. What a player. He's very fun to watch. But, fair. Everyone has their own opinion. As far as the bench options, Rico Lewis comes on, gets booked. People had asked potentially for Rico to start. I don't know about Rico starting. It didn't really feel like he did a whole lot personally when he came on. But I also don't think he did anything negative either. There was no bozo moment. Rodri was good. I think 6.5 is probably a bit low for Rodri. He was definitely better than Nico O'Reilly. Nico G, excuse me. Nico O'Reilly gets a 7, Rodri 6.5. I would say Rodri was better, me personally, I think, at least. Johnny Reinders came on. I thought he put in a good shift, was fine. Creative going forward. Still no, work defensively, unfortunately. Man of the match because no other player was that outstanding either. So for me, I'm just going with Max Aline because I think he deserves it. But I get, Doku's in the top 3 or 4 for me. Trafford in there as well with the saves he made. They ended up being big. Cherokee comes on 77th minute. Who did he come on for? He did come on for Doku, and then he switched sides with Semenyo. Cherokee gets the goal. Probably was a bit selfish a couple of times on occasion in the last 5 to 10 minutes or so when he had a couple of opportunities. He probably could have tried to find Holland and maybe tried to shoot or over dribbled a bit, but eventually he does score. So it's hard to blame him. If he's going to keep being aggressive, I kind of like it. I kind of will take Holland being, or Cherokee being a bit selfish to score goals, if that's going to amount to goals, if that makes sense. Ryan Nori did come on for only a few minutes, but in his few minutes, he was good. He was good. He created the goal. It was a techie goal. I mean, he looked light on his feet. He looked like a different player. Maybe AFCON was what he needed to get some game time and get like free flowing in a way and get his feet wet, because at City he just really hasn't been playing. I mean, I know his AFCON minutes are probably his most minutes of any stretch this season. Like if you Nico O'Reilly, it's a shout out to him. He's been so good, but I mean, if you look, he played a lot in the Club World Cup, and then we get here, he starts the Wolves game and then the Brighton game, starts 2 of the first 3, and then basically doesn't play a full 90 ever again at any point until he goes back to AFCON right here, and he gets 60, 90, 45, 70, 90. So, I mean, that's got to feel good, getting back playing and whatnot, and, you know, that I'm happy with that. Top 4 players were Kusa, Max, Trafford, Doku, in no particular order. I kind of back that. Semenyo also was good. Man of the match is Silva for rattling Newcastle big bad midfield. Silva was an absolute wind-up today. Just battering the midfielders, getting players booked. He got booked himself. I think Joe Linton at one point was like, "You're so short, you can't say anything." And it's like, wow, bro, what an insult. I'm sure 5'7" Bernardo has never heard that one before. Like, you got to give Bernardo credit for that for sure. Whereas he doesn't really do much offensively. I know he got an assist today, but he was definitely a leader out there. It felt like a leader for sure. The rest of the bench, unfortunately, we don't get a Ryan McAdoo sighting, a Devan Mukasa sighting, Charlie Gray. You know, I would love for sure to see those guys out there playing, especially Ryan McAdoo. I would really like to see him get a Premier League chance here shortly. Maybe if we look at our fixtures going up, you know, I guess I'll wrap up. 2-0, we win against Newcastle, and we take that to a home leg. Very, very nice to see. That VAR decision made me slam my hand on my desk. I was very unhappy with the VAR decision, guys. The VAR was an utter joke. Utter joke. And we can keep talking about that if you guys want, but it was an absolute joke. I love Silva's. He loves this club. He does love the club. That is one thing you got to give him credit for. The guy is an absolute Man City. He loves Man City at this point. He may have wanted to leave at some point, but, you know, he stuck it out. Makeda sighting at the Etihad now. Mark my words. You think, in the return fixture? I hope so. I mean, I would hope so for sure. That would be beautiful. If we look at our fixtures coming up as well, just notable ones where we can maybe get some rotation. There is a good few games coming up. Let's get past United. Ideally, we smoke these lot 5-0, 4-0, something like that. That would be beautiful. And then we can do some pretty heavy rotation against Bodo Glimt, against Wolves, and against Galatasaray, ideally. You would think that's an option. This must be what Liverpool fans felt like on the VVD goal against us. The goal against us. The goal against us. Which one? Oh, that one. Yes, you're right. It took me a minute to remember, but that was so long ago. My brain doesn't work as well as your guys does sometimes. United coming up in just a few days. They're in the absolute mud. They have an interim manager. They had an interim, and then they replaced him with another interim manager after firing a manager. I mean, it's a mess on the bad side of Manchester. It's a mess over there, for sure. So I would expect, ideally, we win this game. I will do a live watch along for it, even though it is 7:30 a.m. It's not too early to wake up and pop up a stream. So come back to the stream Saturday morning. I will be doing a live stream for that. And then we go into the games, like I said, that I think we can get a nice bit of rotation in. I want to say we're basically qualified for the Champions League. Is that right? I mean, we maybe need one more draw or one more win from these two, from Bodo Glimt and Galatasaray. I mean, top 8, really you need 16, 15 points. So one win, I mean, we're good. One win, we're good. And you would expect Bodo Glimt, like, surely we can pull that off, get us a win. I think Pep used his squad very well today. Perfect to give Rodri 30. By the way, just a little concern with the Foden's form lately. I do think Foden's form is a valid concern for sure. He wasn't great today. He wasn't great. I don't even remember last time he scored. You know, Foden's one of his big attributes is his goal scoring ability. Like, the guy can get us 20 goals in a season, and it's just, I hate to say it, but he had a bit of a purple patch, and you know, I'm wanting this to come back. But really, you know, it's been, what is it, 1 goal since December? Well, he had a nice run here. He had a really nice run here. 2 goals, 1 goal, 1 goal. Since that Palace game, he hasn't even scored or assisted. So, you know, goals and assists aren't everything, but you would like to see him get the numbers, especially if he's dropping 90 minutes, you know? Where are the goals, Phil? Where are the goals? There's the assists. We need them. Maybe it's because he's playing a bit deeper, but I do think the Foden form is something to monitor for sure. As far as using the squad well, I would definitely agree. As far as rotation-wise, no, I don't want Ake. You know, nobody really played too much. I mean, Haaland, I guess, played the full 90, but what are you supposed to do? In this scenario, we don't have anyone else. Semenyo played the full 90. Bernardo, full 90. 60, 77, 62. These two, by the way, Kusanov and Aline, major props. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of these two, and there is that report from earlier this morning that Max Aline is here to stay. There was some, you know, maybe he's just a stopgap situation, but he's played so well that it seems like City are going to consider just keeping him and playing him for the time being. By the way, thoughts at O'Reilly at CDM. I was not super impressed, unfortunately. I feel like he is too left-footed in a way. It feels like he's angling himself always with his left foot and is afraid to use his right foot. He's just a better left back than midfielder at the moment. Not that he can't become a good midfielder, but currently he just is better at left back. And I think he'll probably go back there on Saturday, I would guess. Wasn't expecting Aït-Nouri looked performance, but he looked bright. Yes, agree. He looked pretty good. Aït-Nouri got, 5 minutes or whatever it was, but you can't complain. He got an assist. It looked nice as well. It was a sexy goal, which, I love. I love a sexy goal. Aline has been impressive. I would agree. He hasn't had any bozo moments. I mean, he's been really good. There's nothing to complain about whatsoever. Like, these are his 3 games. He got an 8-1, 8-3, 7-7. What are you supposed to complain about? There's nothing to complain about at all. First clean sheet as well for him. So, big props to this guy, Max Aline, man. What a baller. What a baller. 20 years old. I feel like there is a future at this club. It even has him as both-footed, which I would not have guessed that, but I don't know. I would have said he's probably right-footed, but Thought Mob has him as both, which is beautiful. And I don't know if you saw the quotes today, but his dad, they asked his dad, Max Aline, how he models his game or whatever. And his dad said he models his ball-playing ability after John Stones, and then he models his defensive ability after Ruben Diaz. I was like, all right, bro, glaze your child a bit. That's a bit crazy. He's John Stones on the ball and Ruben Diaz defensively. Okay, bro, let's relax a little bit. But yes, he was very good. He was very good. I think O'Reilly did well, giving that playing at St. James's Park as his first game as a midfielder, given that we lost there in the league. I don't think he was bad. I should clarify. I don't think he was bad. I just don't think he did anything where I was like, that guy can be our midfielder for a long period of time. I thought he was fine. I was fine. Nothing outstanding. When he's at left back, a lot of the times I'm like, yo, he's the best player on the field. He's the best player out there. He's the best game of anyone out there. So, I don't know, guys. What else is there to discuss at the moment? Let me think here. I do have a new studio. If you guys haven't noticed, I've updated my channel logo. New channel logo. Hopefully you guys like it. I think it's kind of cool. I like it, me personally. I like this. It declutters my background. I know people have been saying it didn't look too good, didn't look professional. So this hopefully looks professional. Hopefully. By the way, do we really need Ruben Gay as Diaz? Will be back soon. I think it's a fair question. Do we need Mark Gay? Let me move this. Where is this? Live chat. Let's move you down over there. I feel like I'm still on the Mark Gay train. I'm very happy to get Mark Gay. I don't know, though. I don't know. Do we need him? Need is maybe a word I would change now. I'm not sure I would say need anymore. But would I like Mark Gahey? Yes. Do we think Mark Gahey is better than Max Aline and Kusanov? Probably. Probably at this time, you know, he probably is. He's like England's best center back at the moment. So that secures your future for quite some time. You have, what is he, 25 years old, something like that. You have Mark Gahey. You have Ruben Diaz. You have Gvardiol, Kusanov, Aline, Vitor Hayes. I don't know. That feels like too many center backs. Mark Gahey would be nice, but if Max Aline can keep putting these performances in, and he's 20, you would expect him to get better. Do you need Mark Gahey? I don't know. Do you want to spend $40 million on a guy you can get on a free in 6 months, 5 months? I don't know. I saw your studio, but we got more important matters at hand. What? A better background would be the Rain Calvin Phillips jersey. This guy, man. This guy. Unbelievable with this Calvin Phillips Rain jersey. I wonder if you can even buy that. Is that even an option? Calvin Phillips Rain kit, Man City. I'm going to see if it's even available to buy. He's now number 44. Nowhere to buy it. Nope. Can't buy it. Guys, it's unbuyable. It's an unbuyable thing. Gosh, that kit is so disgusting, man. I don't know how this will look, but it's the disgusting kit. It's just talk about how he's got a new number and all this nonsense, so I don't think it works. I think it's too much money for a player with 6 months left on his contract. My question is that will be our first choice center back when everyone is back. Will he accept that? Just asking. I feel like he would not accept it, personally. He's going to be third choice, you know? He's third choice. He's certainly third choice to Gvardiol and Diaz, who are... I guess Gvardiol's young. Diaz isn't old, you know? He's 27, 28, something like that. How old is he? Ruben Diaz is 28 years old. He'll turn 29 this year. So he's got, what, 4 more years? Center backs, you go maybe a little bit longer. He's not going to be like all of a sudden slow. He already is slow. So I don't know that like, oh, his legs have gone is a thing with Ruben Diaz because he is so slow already. Sorry, bro. No Calvin Phillips rain kit, unfortunately for you. It's a good question, though, this center back depth situation. I don't know what you do because it really depends on how good Vitor Hayes is. Like, do you think he can come in and compete for minutes next year? Let me see how he's been as Girona this year. His, like, FOTMob profile. Vitor Hayes, he is right-footed. I wonder if he can play on the left-hand side. He's played 1,500 minutes, started 17 out of 18 games. He got sent off at some point. He's been good. He got a man of the match here with an assist. 7-3, 7-4. Yeah, been okay. I mean, it's hard to tell based on this, but Vitor Hayes is one to watch. And he's young as well. He just turned 20 yesterday. Shout out Vitor Hayes for the birthday yesterday. So I don't know. I don't know what you do with the center back option because Stones and Ake are leaving, but that still leaves you with, if you get Gahey, you have Diaz, Gavardiol as the main two. Then Gahey's third. Then Kusanov is fourth. Vitor Hayes is fifth. Max Aline is sixth. Juma Ba, that's seven. You get seven center backs. I don't know. I don't know. Do you see anyone leaving except for Bob? I don't think so. I don't think so. I could be wrong. I could certainly be wrong, but it feels like Bob is about it. Bob is the one that looks likely to go, although that honestly has kind of dried up, and I don't know that Dortmund is happening for Bob anymore. Next best thing, Man United kit, but you'd have to put a jump scare warning. No, sir. No, sir. I would not ever put on a absolute trash jersey like that. No, thank you. Now, he's been good. Vitor Hayes. Well, I mean, I would like Vitor Hayes to be here, considering we spent big money on him. Juma Ba is a profit player, I believe. I would agree with this. I think Juma Ba is basically a spreadsheet. You bought him for 5 on a spreadsheet, and you're going to sell him for 15 and make 10. That's all Juma Ba is. It sounds bad, but that is the case, I believe. Has he been playing? Juma Ba at Nice. 19 years old. 1,000 minutes. Hard to judge, but he's got a couple of good... it looks pretty sporadic. 11 starts. They've probably played, 20 games or something? So he's, starting half the time. Something like that. I don't know. 5.4 is not good, but, I mean, they got smoked that game. So, I don't know. I kind of agree. I think Juma Ba... Oh, I wasn't showing it. My bad, guys. That's the Juma Ba profile. 1,000 minutes, 6.61, 11 starts in Liga. Decent numbers, but nothing crazy. Not great aerially, unfortunately. Not great in his graph over here on the right, which looks like it's cut off a bit, but whatever. Calvin Phillips would leave if he had any shame. Let me get this straight, Mr. Rook. Would you leave if you were on $150K a week and you didn't have to do anything? Would you leave? Calvin Phillips has the best job in the world, guys. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't even have to show up to work. And you just get $150K a week. He has the best job in the world. It's better than a third goalie who actually has to go to practice and training and go to the games. Calvin Phillips can just stay home. He doesn't even need to live in Manchester. That's his job. He just hangs out by himself, basically. People have told me he's crap at Nice, Juma Ba. Just sell him for the profit. We have too many center back options, I think, probably. To me. Too many center back options. But I think sent right Hayes on a loan, but this time to an EPL team like Bournemouth, which is a team based... Words are hard, guys. Possession-based team. I do like the idea of getting to see Vitor Hayes, because I don't really watch La Liga, especially Girona. I'm not watching Girona play. That's not happening. So, if he got to go on loan to Bournemouth or Palace or something like that, that would be cool. I would be down for that. Hayes and Aline will have to battle it out. Aline has a leg up because he's homegrown. That's helpful that he's homegrown. Actually, Hayes, it doesn't matter. Hayes is under 21, so he wouldn't count anyway. Never mind. Scratch that. He's a great thief. He's a great thief for sure, guys. For sure. Man, any news on Twitter at the moment? Let me take a look and see what is going on there. Let's see. This I thought was funny. This stupid guy, man. Jamie Redknapp. Quote, "I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you get information from people and you expect better. On that occasion, my dad called me and he was at the game when he scored that incredible goal. And he said, what is it? He said, I think there might be a twist. He might go to Liverpool. So I thought, I'm going to say that on air. Bro, what is wrong with you? Why would... What is this? That's not how this works, bro. You gave half a fan base a meltdown for like a night. By the way, who gave Phillips a 6-year deal should be investigated. That would be Shiki Bergerstein, who no longer works at the club. That's a Shiki decision. Shiki Bergerstein, however the heck you say his name. That is unfortunate, you know. But that's what I thought was funny. Elsewhere, I mean, I don't think there's any other real news out there, especially on Gahey. There's a bit of the same, kind of nothing bit of news. What's your thoughts on Xabi Alonso? So I've read that he quit, and I've also read that he got fired. So I'm not sure, but it feels like he didn't like the ego situation at Madrid, and Madrid didn't like how difficult he made like the players' lives. So sounds like Madrid is a bunch of babies and didn't like hard coaching. I appreciate the hard coaching. I would take Xabi Alonso at City if we went down the route of needing a new manager at some point because Pep left or whatever in a year or two, and you know, Luis Enrique said no, and Vincent Kompany said no. Xabi Alonso, I think, would be a great option at City, personally. But that is just crazy. That is crazy. I do see this. This is crazy. Penguin has entered the chat. We get a nice little picture of the VAR drawing. Which, I don't know how they got this blue line. Where's this blue line? Also, who's... This is... Chaw is the red boots, right? Holland is the white boot. Red boot, white boot. I don't understand this at all. This makes no sense to me. It's literally crazy. Who would you take if you could have one PSG player? It's a great question. Great question. Vitinha, João Neves, or Kvaratskhelia? Honestly, I would take Kvaratskhelia and put him on the left and send them Doku back. Sounds harsh because Doku's really good for us, but bro, Kvaratskhelia is another level. Dude is so good. Dude is so good. Give me Kvaratskhelia for sure from PSG. Got a kindergartens in there drawing lines. Dude, the lines are ridiculous. Literally ridiculous. Ooh, I wonder if I can show this. I don't know. I'm gonna show it. This is the goal. It's a gift, so it should count. Good ball, tech, Ignori, staying on balance, cuts it back, Cherki low driven. Beautiful, beautiful. That should be fine, I think. But, you know, I hope I don't get copyrighted for that. I think it's because the keeper is ahead of the last defender. Is the keeper ahead of the last defender? But you can't see the keeper's other foot. This foot is not connected to the blue line. I wonder if I can zoom in some more. Look. Look at this. This is the keeper's shoe. The blue line is separated. Where are they getting this blue line? What shoe is this blue line on? Where's his other foot? Because this foot is Holland. You can't see it. So how do you know it's over here? This one is Holland's foot. This one is Holland's foot. This is the keeper's foot. This is Chaw. Chaw is level with Holland. But if Chaw is behind the keeper, technically the keeper is the second to last man. So Holland is past the keeper. But again, you cannot see the other guy's foot. So how do you know where to draw the line? By the way, PSG lost yesterday against their rival, Paris FC. Really? I did not know that. I would take Hakimi. Hakimi's a baller as well. He might be in legal trouble, though. I think there's something about there. Can't challenge a defender because you're stopping them from clearing it. Ain't that the whole point? Can't challenge a defender because you're stopping them from clearing it. Ain't that the whole point? I don't get it. I'm confused. The fact they had to go in such detail means it wasn't clear and obvious. This is also correct. This is also correct. We had United fans defending us. I know. Shame it was a good flick on by Semenyo. I know. Semenyo would have 3 goals in 2 games. Where is the semi-automatic technology that they use in UCL matches? I agree. They've lost the plot, man. They have lost it. They don't know what they're doing. And I hate the offsides rule. I think it should be that you should be all the way. There has to be space between you and the second to last man. That's what I would make the rule, because at least if you're all the way past, you have an advantage. You have an advantage. If your pinky toe is a micromillimeter past, you do not have an advantage. It is no advantage to be in that position whatsoever. There's no advantage. I think it's so dumb. It's such a bad rule. It's the Wenger way of doing offsides, which I would totally back. I would totally back it. The VAR said he's stopping the defender from clearing it. That's why. What's he supposed to do? Stand back and watch? It doesn't even make sense. Thiaw didn't even try to he didn't even move. He didn't even move. He literally didn't have time to react because the ball went in the net so fast. He just did one of these. He didn't move. Nick Pope went to the right. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's such a joke, guys. How do I fix this? I'm blurry. I don't know how to fix it with my new studio setup, guys. Whatever. My new studio already giving me problems. Oh well. Anyway, there's not really much else to complain about, to be honest. Anyway, City won the game, 2-0. Yeah, it could have been 3, but if we blow a 2-0 lead going back to the Etihad, that's brutal. You know, we should be fine with that 2-0 lead going home. So, really, it is what it is. It's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. It's just annoying that this stuff happens still in 2026, that we can't figure out the offside rule. Jokes. Anyway, that is all for the stream this evening. I do appreciate you guys hanging out. I will say, if you are new, as always, check out the Discord. You can join the Discord right there via that link in the chat. It is free. Any City fan can join it if you would like. You don't have to, but if you're interested, go ahead and join it. Aren't they trying to change the offside rule? I think they proposed to the FA. I think they are, but who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? My point is the defender was a statue. If you remove every other player in the field, Pope don't save it. Yeah, See ya. See you guys. Thank you for watching. If you are new, hit subscribe. We're going for 1,000. Appreciate it as always. I'll probably be back tomorrow with either a video or stream, depending on the news. If we get some Gahey news, I'll definitely stream. So we'll see. We'll see. Hope you guys like the new branding on the channel.